the Land Rover Defender P400e. Now it's got a 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine as well as a 19.2 kilowatt-hour battery, and that battery alone can get you 42 kilometers, well 43 kilometers of pure electric driving, 43 kilometers of pure electric range. Now it's for me rather, it's a hit and a miss because that 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine is very thirsty, and once the battery has depleted, it's just downhill from there in terms of fuel consumption. And this is a massive car. I mean, it weighs over 2 tons. So you can imagine it's heavy, it's on all-terrain tires, it's got a thirsty petrol engine, and it just simply runs through fuel. And for me, that's not a good thing. Now, it'll cost you 2.2 million rand, and I do understand that, you know, the world is going plug-in hybrid electric. Land Rover had to do something about it, but I still think that you are better off just buying a 110 diesel engine, the D350, and I think that will give you way much more range. There isn't need for you to constantly stop at fuel stop, especially with cars like this, right? Where these are family-orientated adventure SUVs. With adventure SUVs, you don't need to be worrying about having to stop frequently at petrol stations. Now, I do understand that maybe if it was a Discovery or if it was something else within the family or even a Velar, that's fine to get that, you know, that plug-in hybrid system. But on this, not for me, and that's just my own personal opinion. But yeah, in this review, I'm going to cover the exterior looks, which are still exactly identical to any other Defender that you look at, apart from the fact that there is another port here, well, another cap, which is for you to plug in your car. It got AC and DC fast charging. Other than that, it's all a Defender that you've seen, and we have done the Defender 130 on the channel. Please don't forget to watch that review after this. Also, use the link in my description to get a quote from Naked Insurance, and if you're subscribed to the channel and you help us reach the 50,000 subscriber mark by end of November, we could be choosing 2 people anywhere in South Africa to take to the Volkswagen Advanced Driving Academy. So please make sure that you like, you comment on this video, and most importantly that you're subscribed. So let's get straight into this review. Like I mentioned, the exterior is still very much a Defender, and I'll take you through that right now. You still have your Defender lettering right at the top. It's such a bold looking car, and there is no mistaking a Defender. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Mr. Gorgeous, I'm sorry I said gorgeous again. But it looks really, really good. You do have these circular headlights, and guess what? They do work. They're just off right now, but they do actually work. Your indicators are right onto there. You have your fog lamps down here, as well as some air intakes right onto there as well. Then this black gloss bumper, which looks quite cool. I like it, especially with this green color. It does do a nice contrast into giving it a nice aesthetic. This Defender slats right at the top here, it's such a Defender trademark, and I do love this a lot. I mean, you go back into the history of Defenders, and it's always had these. I just need to find the right name for it. Wow, Bird, are we competing? Just need to find the right name for this. But I do love this a lot. Then you've got some air intakes on here, which are very functional air vents, but it does look flimsy. Well, with Defender lettering on there. These are 20-inch alloys, and they are shod in this all-terrain tire, which is really, really good. It's durable. I love all-terrain tires on adventure SUVs and on bakkies. You guys know that. Then you've got this big wing mirror with your indicator lamp, as well as your 360 surround view camera. This black gloss aesthetic also works, especially with this color, like I've mentioned, also complementing rather that front bumper. Got keyless entry into the vehicle, these functional roof rails, and with the Defender, there's so many things that you can accessorize with, whether it's some boxes, storage boxes, some ladders, everything. And I've seen so many people accessorizing them to their gods with whatever that they want to. Now, on your left is where your charging port is. You do have AC and DC fast charging on there. On the other side, that's where your fuel filler cap is for you to pour in your petrol. I'll turn the car around for you guys, and then we'll see if there's been any changes at the rear in terms of trying to distinguish it from diesel Defenders, but there isn't much really. And then we'll jump inside before we go for the drive. But gee whiz, this guy is so thirsty, guys. It is so thirsty. So thirsty. When you come to the rear, and the Defender rear is always such a good place to be. It's such a good looking place. This massive spare wheel with its cover just looks really good. And the fact that it's also in the body color is such a nice touch. I don't want to lie to you guys. And then you've got your LED tail lights, and these look really gorgeous at night. Like they're mounted vertically. Then your indicators are in there, and your reverse light is right onto there. You do then get your recovery hooks as well as a tow bar. I do wish sometimes that this was an electronically operated tailgate. So you do press the button, it will unlock, and then you have to pull it out. And it is quite heavy, I don't want to lie to you. And it's heavy because of that spare wheel, right? I mean, it's a full-size spare wheel that's on there. But instantly, you've got some Defender lettering here. You've got some storage options at the bottom here, as well as one on there. You've got a grocery hook right on there, another grocery hook right on there. And then you can also lower the car using one of these. So you can also retract, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. Air suspension on Defenders is always such a nice thing for me. I don't want to lie to you guys. And then you've got a 12-volt socket on there. You've got a 230-watt plug right in the rear, so you can plug your fridge or anything that you want to plug on there. These are your charging cables for your car, and they're nice and tugged right into here as well, into this bag. So that is quite cool. So you've got one for your home and then one for when you go wherever you want to go. This over here is your parcel shelf. I'm too lazy to hook it up, but trust me, it's a parcel shelf. It goes right onto there, but I'm too lazy to hook it. There's just too much work. I've got too much money. Someone should do this for me. Yo, I'm kidding, guys. And then this kit on here is your toolkit, and should you want to change your tires, then you have to use that. That rubberized theme also continues into the boot, by the way, so this is a nice touch so that you can throw whatever you want to throw in here without having to worry that it's going to make your car dirty, your boot dirty rather. So yeah, that is the rear of the Land Rover Defender P400e X Dynamic HSE. Decent amount of boot space, to be honest with you guys, and I'll put the liters on screen for you guys, but it's very decent. So yeah, jeez, I love myself a Defender, guys. I love myself a Defender. So when you jump inside, there isn't much to differentiate it to say that this is a plug-in hybrid or it's got any form of electric wizardry going on. Literally a multifunctional leather-wrapped steering wheel. You will see though on your display that when it does start up, you do have a petrol tank as well as a electric charging thing here, show that you've got 0 range or whatever range and it's got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I do love everything about this infotainment. You can easily connect on your infotainment as well. If you see here, then you do have that EV range, and it will show you just exactly what the car is doing. And currently we've got 1% of EV range. Then you can show anything about the energy, the hybrid mode, and as well as the charging if it is charging. And then you've got your gear lever here, which I am a huge fan of. I love this Defender gear lever a lot. Then your physical dials, which do switch up into other functions as well. So if you want to lower the ride, you'll have to press it. And now you can use it to change your different drive mode selector. But if you don't want to use it, you can just press that, and then now it's for aircon. So that is also quite interesting. And then you've got space here to place your phone, and the nice thing is that it can easily neatly tuck away under there, and then you can connect your USB Type-C over there. You have more space under here as well for you to store whatever you want to store. Here is the key, another good looking key. BYD, take note. Open there. Now you've got 2 cup holders on here, a place here to wirelessly charge your phone, and in true Defender style, you've got a cooler box on here, which I'm a huge fan of, and it actually cools drink. It's not a gimmick. Then you've got a mirror on here, and this mirror in true Defender style as well, because it's a massive car. It's a digital mirror for when you need to see out at the back, and you've got passengers in the rear. Then you've got place here for your passenger. They can put their phones here, and then it's got a Type-C as well, so that they can easily charge their phone, as well as Defender lettering, just in case they forgot what they're driving in. But this also does work as a grab handle. These seats are heated and ventilated, and they're always very supportive and very comfortable. They've got many rooms and many ways to essentially adjust for you to get comfortable, and it's always such a nice sitting position looking outside the window. So you've got many rooms to adjust. These seats are also massaging, by the way. This massive panoramic sunroof with a shade, and it does open. It's not just for vibes. So it does tilt, it does open, but nobody drives a Defender with a sunroof like this. It's impossible for you to drive a Defender like this. Like, why? I get you want some air, or maybe when you're at a game drive and then your kids are like looking out and then you can open that. But it does do that, and it will also tilt. Now, there's rubber mats here. I love these rubber mats because as much as they look dirty, they're so easy to clean because you can just hose them down with water. There's no need for you to worry whether you've got mud into the car, whether you've got sand, grass, whatever. Hose it down quickly, and then you put it back. And that's simple. I love sitting in a Defender. There's just something about the Defender, and when this Defender was first introduced, I've always been a huge fan of it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Let me go and show you guys the rear seat. Now, this is not the 7-seater variant, it is the 5-seater, so that's perfect. There's no need for extra 2 seats here, to be honest. The rear has acres and acres of legroom, guys. I mean, just look at that. That's 5 fingers, and this is my sitting position. So you can see that it's got space galore, galore, galore. I do quite like this slightly raised sitting position. These windows right on here, which are right on here, also bring in such a nice aesthetic because like you can easily just be staring there. You know when you're heartbroken and you want to look in the front, you can just be staring there and you're reminiscing, oh no, what a great guy he was, what a great girl she was. How could she do that to me? You know, that's that window. That's what that window is for you to stare into an abyss, as they would call it. Then you do get an pocket on there to store whatever you want to store. 2 Type-Cs on there, as well as your own climate control settings and some vents that point directly at you as well. I would have actually appreciated if there were some vents that were on the door, but you do then get a grab handle right onto the door, so I'm assuming that's why they couldn't put it. And then your armrest, as well as 2 cup holders right on there. Not the most inspiring armrest I've seen, but you do have it. These seats, like I mentioned, are really nice and comfortable. I wish they were also heated, but unfortunately, the rear must suffer. They must suffer. So yeah, that is the rear of the Land Rover Defender 110 P400e X Dynamic HSE. So here is that 2-liter turbocharged petrol engine, and we've seen this engine being used so many times within the entire JLR family. I know the Jaguar F-Pace also uses it, the Velar also uses it. So many products within the JLR family use this engine, and then you see the orange lines that just shows you that it is then the plug-in hybrid. 297 kilowatts as well as a whopping 640 newton meters. That's the combined outputs. You know, one thing that I've always loved about the Defender is its air suspension, and I do know there's a lot of people who tend to have air suspension issues as the cars become older, whether it's in Range Rovers, Discoveries, Defenders. I've seen some people already complaining about the air suspension and it failing out, and I'm pretty sure sometimes it's a human error or people just not taking care of their cars, right? Because the air suspension on here makes this car just glide across any terrain, man. Yes, it's got so many terrain response systems here, but you don't need to do anything. You just slap this thing into auto terrain response selected, and then it will do everything, and it will do anything in fact for you. Whether you are on gravel road, you're on sand, it knows exactly how to, you know, apply power for you, how to, you know, get traction where there's no traction. And you don't need to be an off-roading god for you to know exactly what you're doing, right? And that's the one thing that I love about Defenders. Now, in this specific model, the one thing that I do love is the fact that obviously it's got an electric motor, so response is instant and it just glides. It just glides. Honestly, doesn't think about what it's doing. 0 to 100, 5.6 seconds, which is fair for, especially for a car of this weight and its sheer size, right? So that's the one thing that I really love driving a Defender. Also, the sitting position, I mentioned earlier on when I was talking about the interior and the rooms to adjust this seat so that you can always see what you're doing. It doesn't feel like a big, heavy car to drive. I mean, even when I had the Defender 130, that was a long car, but it felt like I'm just, you know, in any small car. Easy to park, easy to do whatever you want to do. And also the fact that there's this digital mirror. I know that if it's not in digital, then the rear mounted tire as well as the middle headrest will give me issues in terms of seeing, but this just makes everything so nice. And that's one thing that I love about it. Now, fuel consumption wise, that is where the joke starts for me. They say it'll do 2.8 liters per 100 kilometers. That's far from the case for me, and yes, it will do such low numbers like that when everything is in the best scenario, so all your batteries are fully charged. But guys, it's only 43 kilometers that you get on electric range. So I don't know if there was a need for this, because I mean, I was even doing less numbers in the 130 that I had, the diesel. And to be honest with you, I didn't need any electric assist. I didn't feel the need that I need a plug-in hybrid for that. That was just always simply fine for me. So I don't know if this was a good idea. I think in the F-Pace and the other paces in terms of the Jaguar products, it makes sense, right? But, or even in the Velar, this would make sense. But I don't know if a petrol and a electric motor in a Defender works. I think, so to be honest with you guys, that is where it lags for me, because G was 12.2 liters per 100 kilometers and you claim 2.8 liters per 100 kilometers. I don't know, guys. It's really, really not it. Now, in terms of competition, the Defender really doesn't have any competition. Yes, the likes of the Lexus GX550, the Prados, the Everest, they've come out to say we are competing against the Defender. But to be honest with you guys, that's far from the case. So in terms of competition, I don't think those cars that I've mentioned come anywhere closer to being a Defender competitor. I think a Defender has always been in a class of its own. Maybe if you look at maybe the Jeep Wrangler or maybe the G400 diesel, then sure, I think a buyer who wants a Defender can also look at a G400D or a Jeep Wrangler. But I still think it's either you want a Defender or a Defender. And that is honestly just the simple truth for me. So yeah, that is the Defender P400E, which is a plug-in hybrid. And I think there is nothing more really to say about the car. It drives really well. I'm not a fan of the electric system. I mean, 43 kilometers is not that great. I think push it to 100 kilometers of EV range, then maybe you have a winner on your hands, because then I don't have to be charging only for me to get 43 Ks on a charge. I think it's, I don't know, guys. To be honest, just go for the diesel Defender. That's my honest verdict. That's my honest verdict. Just go for a diesel Defender. Don't forget to please use the link in my bio, the link in my description, to get a code from Naked Insurance, and you could save you some money, and you can get that code in under 90 seconds. Also, please make sure you're liked and you're subscribing to the content so that we can get that goal of reaching 50,000 subscribers by end of November. And 2 people can also win an advanced driving academy course with me and Volkswagen. Up until next time, please keep left and always pass right if you're in South Africa. Peace out, guys.